something called as a DevOps CICD pipeline. So consider this as an introductory session, the first day, like to give you an idea what we are going to deal with here. Okay, what we are going to deal with is the major thing here that we have to that we will be learning in as part of this course is. So this is, you will come across this word DevOps, and we this course is going to be project based completely. Project, call it lab or practical. It is going to be a project based session. Now, what this means is we are going to have to use various tools. There are various DevOps tools that will be used. Tools, practices. Oops. One second, something. Yeah. Tools. Tools, as I was saying, tools, practices, methodologies. Okay. All these together actually what combines and creates something called a culture of DevOps. It's a culture. It's not just learning the tools and implementing them. Okay, so this single thing, explaining this single culture of DevOps, instead of like, it is something which is very abstract and you can understand it while doing only. Okay. Doing what? Doing a lab session, and that lab session will be involving, as I said earlier, there will be various tools. So let's quickly go through what these tools are, which I'm going to use. Now, to learn to use those tools, again, there will be a little bit of knowledge that you should have beforehand. So all those prerequisites things, I will teach as it comes, as and when it comes. For example, we need to learn about Git. Okay. This is the symbol for Git. This is one of the tools that we are going to use. Okay. And then because we are going to use Git, there is something related to that also that is called GitHub. So this is the symbol for GitHub. These are all the tools that we are going to use. You will see when I start integrating them, then it will give you a bigger picture of how we work with these tools. So obviously, before any tool can be used, you have to learn a theory part about it. Now you will know, you will also come across something called Jenkins. This is another very popular. What these tools are and what they do, gradually I will be explaining. It is so in the first day itself, I don't want to overwhelm you with a lot of data, because whatever new you are learning, gradually it should be something meaningful. At least you are able to understand why and how you are going to use it. But that will take a little bit of time. And as and when I proceed through the course, I will be explaining that in detail. Okay, in the maybe certain tools, as these are a little bit complicated tools, in the first day itself, you will not be able to understand this. But needless to say, because they are all completely project oriented, so I will walk you through with the practicals how to use them. So Git, GitHub, Jenkins, Maven. Maven is also one of the tools that we are going to use. I'm just showing you the pictures. Then later on I will come to like how they integrate with each other. And then we have got something called Ansible. Ansible is also one of the tools. Maybe many of you are already working in the industry. You already know the names of these tools, but it's fine. This course is meant for absolute beginners also, who have not got any knowledge, any practical experience in IT related projects. Then there is also Docker. Okay, so Git, GitHub, Jenkins, Maven, Ansible, Docker. And also, yes, definitely, there is something called Kubernetes. That is also something we are definitely going to use. Okay, so our project will be revolving all around these tools to create an automated continuous integration, continuous deployment, continuous delivery, CI/CD pipeline. Now, all of these tools we will be using, but for that, we need one cloud service provider whose services we will be using as something called infrastructure as a service, IaaS. That cloud service provider for us is going to be AWS or Amazon Web Services. Okay, so all of these tools, they are going to be interlinked for a project, multiple projects actually. But the outcome, the capstone project, ultimately by the end of the course, you will basically simply put what you should be able to understand and automate and do it your create a something called a pipeline. Okay, this is called pipeline, which means one after the other things will happen automatically. What you should be able to do is you should be able to create something called a pipeline in DevOps. That it is in simple terms, it will be simply let me actually show it in pictures. Give me 1 second. Developers will be writing code, and then you are just you should be able to push that code into something called a production environment. Okay, 1 second. So yeah, take it something like this. These are your developers. Okay, this development team, they are going to write the code. It is best explained through diagrams only. This is what actually happens in the background. Okay, so these are this is development team. They are writing code. Now, any application, you use so many applications in daily life, like Facebook, WhatsApp, Netflix, any Google Mail, any software application that you can think of. At the back end, there are developers who are writing code for that application. So there will be a development team. These guys are the team who actually write the code for the application. Then that code needs to be tested. Okay, so there is another team that is called the testing team. Okay, or in other words, you can just call them testing or quality assurance, QA team. What do? They will test whatever code these developers are writing. Okay, that will always be code. It will look something like this. All these developers, whenever they are writing code, they are always, these developers are writing code, something like this. Now there will be hundreds and thousands of lines of code like this. This is code. Whatever language they can write it in, whatever database they might be using. But then this code is ultimately building something called an application, right? Or in other words, you are creating something called softwares. Okay, so those softwares can be a variety of softwares. They can be application software. They can be whatever it is. They would be softwares. Now let me actually give some example here. Whatever app, any gaming app or any kind of email client you are using, or any kind of like a PDF reader, or your any of the social media platforms that you are using, they are all softwares. So all this code ultimately which is being written, and with various other tools, technologies, and databases, at the end, it actually creates a software product. I'm just looking for a good image. It should be good enough. So anything that you can think of, any kind of tool, whatever you are using in daily life, okay, be it, it may be installed in your computer, it may be installed in your desktop, laptop. So these are all these softwares. This is what I'm actually trying. I was looking for a good image here. So you can see here Spotify, Facebook, Gmail, Airbnb, Compass, Google Maps, Skype, Adobe PDF, whatever you can think of. Okay, these are all ultimately, what happens is, all code ultimately gives us a product. That product is nothing but a software. Okay, or we can call it an application. How is this built? So then there is another team, this testing team. So the development team, they write this code. Similarly, there is a testing team. They actually test the software. Their task is to test the software always before it is released to the customer in the market. Okay, that everything is working properly or not. If there is a login box, can you put in some login ID, put in the password in that field, and after that, if you click on the login button, is it opening? Is it diverting you to a landing page? That kind of the thing the testing team will do. Okay, but then now all this code is written, all the databases are maintained. So this thing, how it is done, this entire thing, this has to be, the developers and the testers, they need to do it on their own systems, but all these systems need to be integrated in the back end. Okay, then all this code needs to be deployed. It needs the hardware which is required for the computers and the servers on which these various tools and servers and databases, they all have to be provisioned. Okay, so there is another team called operations team. They are responsible for that. I will get into these details gradually, but today is just like the first day. So I'm giving you a very high level picture. So there is something called the operations team. They are the ones who actually will deploy each and everything. Whatever the development team is writing as code, whatever the infrastructure they require, where will they write the code? Where, in which computer, in which server will the QA team test? What there is something called environment, that also where code is ultimately where. Let me talk a little bit about environment here. Let us understand about environment. No, before environment, I think I should say. So all these things that are happening, they ultimately, there will be code, and then that code has to have an output. This code should become a software application. Take it as simply as this. Okay. So this journey from writing the code, when the developer here, as these developers are writing the code, the testing team is testing the code, operations team is providing all the services, provisioning services, configuration, deployments, all of these things that these operation teams are doing. And then there will be some managers who are managing the project. All of these things together comprise something called SDLC. What this means is nothing but software development life cycle. Okay, the development of the software goes through its own journey. That journey from the beginning till the end. Beginning means right from where the customer gives his or her first requirement, and then it starts getting captured, and then finally the developers this entire thing is actually put into practice, wherein your all the code that is written, it is after it is tried and tested, then it is ultimately provided to the customers. Okay, that entire thing is called SDLC, software development life cycle. Okay, and to do this, there is a good diagram. I was looking for it. It is a continuous process how it is done. Okay, and to do this, you have to like understand who fits in where in the picture. Like you must know, like as if you are a DevOps engineer, what does a developer do? Well, what is a DevOps engineer doing? Okay, so this is something called SDLC. There will be planning, analysis, design, development, testing and deployment, then maintenance, and then this, again this thing, it is not never ending. Okay, why? Because you must have seen like people who are into gaming, like every time a new or if you are using WhatsApp or any other software that you use, there is always something called updates which keep happening, right? Update. Okay, in your game, if you are playing some game in your mobile or desktop, it's very common that any software will always keep getting updates. Okay, it is not as if like that is why this cycle never ends. It goes on and on, because even if you are completed deploying a particular software, okay, and customers have started using it, there can still be improvements made in the software. Many of you would already use WhatsApp, right? If you remember, from the time you started using WhatsApp, initially it was just how many features started getting added gradually with every update. Okay, so initially WhatsApp was only used for chat, like making video calls and audio calls and messaging. That's all it was. Okay, but then gradually they added the feature of sending attachments. You could send documents, you could send pictures, you could send videos snippets. Then they allowed, you can also record your voice and then you can send it. So gradually, every time it evolved over a period of time. Okay, any software actually does that. I would request people who are coming on camera, that is not required. We can just continue without camera. So this is the process of admin team. If you can kindly take care of this. Thank you. Now, any software keeps evolving, and that evolving requires planning, analysis, design, development, testing and deployment, and maintenance. And again, when the software, again, a new feature is added. Okay, the moment a new feature is added into the software, again, it will go through the same process again. It's a cyclic, never-ending process. As long as the software is being used, it will always have this thing. Okay, that is why it is a cycle. It goes on and on and on. Now, we will, so this is at a very high level, what SDLC is, and what each team member does, that also we will discuss. But today, I just want to give a summary, a brief overview. Okay, so there are many new words I'm using, but it's fine. If you're not able to understand it in one go, don't worry. As we proceed with this, we will gradually understand what we will, how we are implementing and what we are implementing. Okay, so let me give you a simple diagram here. Like that is the object, that is the objective of our course here. So if you don't worry about the new terms I'm using for any of the tools that I'm going to use, it will be covered in its own due time. Okay, so what we are going to learn basically will be something like this. We are going to use a particular software called Git. There is a little bit of background you will need to know, but that thing I will explain as and when I proceed with the course. So using Git, we said earlier, right, that the developers are doing coding. So using that the Git tool, we are going to do a check-in. The developers will check in their code. Okay. Now they need to keep this code somewhere. Okay, where are you going to keep the code? The place where you are going to keep that code is called GitHub. Okay. And here, all the code is going to be stored and also shared. This thing is called GitHub. So GitHub goes here. The code gets checked into GitHub. Now, developers' task is something they will, during the project, they will continuously keep coding. It is a continuous process. Okay. So that is why we, every time developers write a code, they write the code, their code will be written in their own languages that they use, like maybe Java, Python. Now that needs to be converted into something machine readable. Okay, so that process that is called code compiling or code build. I will get into those details later on, but that is called code build. Now for code build, we will need something called a software to maintain that code, to continuously keep giving that continuous code build. Now for that thing, we are going to use a software called Jenkins. This is the software, and what it is going to do is it will fetch the code from GitHub and give something called a code build or continuous build. Okay, I will get into details regarding these softwares in gradually as I proceed, but you can think of it at a very high level. This is what we are going to do. So many things you will not understand here, that is fine. But then somewhere you will have to, from somewhere you will have to start, right? So consider this simple diagram as that starting point. Now Jenkins will be responsible for giving that continuous build. But then if there is a build, there has to be a continuous delivery also. Okay, so for that, we will, Jenkins is providing this build, and for delivery, we will use something called delivery and also deployment. So that for that we will use Ansible. Just give me 1 second. I'm looking for an image. So another software comes into picture here for maintaining this continuous build from the continuous build, the continuous delivery, and your continuous deployment. So that task we are going to assign to another software called Ansible. Okay, let me actually get the pictures first. And Docker and Kubernetes. Just let me get 2 more pictures. So that I can correlate what is happening where. So let me place Docker somewhere around here. This is another of the important things. And finally, there will be Kubernetes. So all these tools that we are going to use, they are all open source and free to use. Okay. Let's finally give the image of Kubernetes. Now here, let me make it a little bit smaller so that I can fit the entire picture here. And here you have got Kubernetes. So how they fit in here now? Let me complete this. So once the code is checked in from the developers and stored in GitHub and shared with the rest of the development team, there has to be a continuous build. That build your Jenkins is giving. And but then it has there is from Jenkins to Ansible, there will be something called a continuous delivery also. Continuous delivery. Okay. And then Ansible is going to also do something called continuous deployment. Okay, that where is it going to be deployed? In using Kubernetes. So that is the deployment part. Here, Ansible is also going to have to interact with a software called Docker. Okay, where it is where the main thing that is going to happen is something called Docker image push. Okay, you don't worry, all of these things we will actually be learning in due course as we proceed. So if there is a Docker image push, there will also be something called a Docker image pull. This is going to, this is at a very high level. This is what our project actually will be. This is the entire capstone project. Ultimately, we should be able to do this. So in very simple words, whenever development team is writing code and updating, automatically so let me actually, even at a very high level, okay, so there will be code written by developers. There you go. Using whatever programming language they are using, whatever they are doing. Okay, so developers will simply write code and from the code you will be, this code will be making changes to the application. Okay, for example, like any of the applications, like let me just grab this image, the same, whatever application is being used. All these applications, as you can see. Okay, anything that you can think about. Can I make this move order? Send to back. Okay, so change in code, change in application. will lead to change in application or software. Application means I'm talking about software here. Okay. So this entire journey of learning DevOps as a course, you will learn how this entire thing, this thing is when you will be able to do this continuously, you're able to do this continuously, and you are able to do this in an automated way, continuously automated. Then automated means everything internally will happen automatically. For that, you will have to build the system like that. When you are able to do this continuously and in an automated manner, that there is change in code, which is reflecting the change in the software. When you are able to do that continuously and automatically, then you build, that is when you say that you have something called a CICD pipeline. Okay. That is the purpose of this course. That is what a DevOps engineer actually does. Okay. Yeah, let me see if I can get an image. It's a very interesting thing. Yeah, I think I got a picture. Let me just check this. It is a very interesting thing to learn and also to implement. This, something like this: code, source, build, test, deploy, continuous integration, continuous delivery. So as long as there is manual intervention, that will be continuous delivery. But when you're doing it completely in an automatic way, that will be called continuous deployment. So CICD, that CD can be continuous delivery or continuous deployment. It will depend what you are doing, how you are doing it. Okay. But then the ideal objective is to do CI and CD, continuous deployment, to make things automatic. That is the purpose of this course. That is the journey. So in very short, I have discussed many things here, like the tools that we are going to use, and then for people who are new to the concept of SDLC, who are absolutely new, in later classes, I will actually keep building upon this idea. Okay. And I will keep discussing this further so that people who are absolutely new, they can understand what is happening. Okay. So what SDLC is, what that process is, this is at a very high level. And this is actually what our project will be about. Okay. Let me put this into a shape. Our major thing will revolve around this. The whole point of using Git and all of this, how we are going to do, it will be in a lot more detail, because it is going to become very technical, because everything you have to do using coding, by using the tools, by writing scripts, understanding how the tools work. Okay. So this is going to be the major this is about, at a very high level, this is all about the course right now. So what I'll do is, now I will open up the forum for answering questions. And Rahul, if you also want to pitch in now, if you have anything to say, then maybe this is the time now. Let's see. Admin team, could we please unmute the congregation, if they should be able to ask their questions now, please. Emmanuel, are they unmuted?
Yes, they can unmute.
Okay, good. Yes, anybody has any questions, please raise your. Go ahead.
Yes, in this side. Hello, am I audible?
Yes, you are audible. Please go ahead.
Sir, actually, I want to know that what about the theory part and the lab guide? would we get these in the during the course? Because I'm very new to this field and really facing problem in doing the labs and remembering the theory.
Hmm. Okay, good question. So basically, what you are asking is, I am new to DevOps theory and lab. No
Yes,
lab can be performed without theory. So obviously, I will have to walk you through the understanding what the tool is, what is its purpose, what are its main components, what is its background architecture, how does it work, what problem does it solve, what is it supposed to do. Without the tool, what was happening earlier, after using the tool, what is expected to happen. If somebody is using a tool, then there has been some improvement in the quality of the work that was being performed. Okay, so all these explanation will come in the theory, but then theory, only theory will not work. Everything has to be done practically. So all the things I will be practically doing, and before doing, I will be sharing, like, once the theory part is done, you also need to follow certain thing called diagrams. Okay, where is something? Where is this software? 1 second, let me check. Where is it? Why is it not opening up? So you also need, before you can implement a lab, you also need diagrams. Okay, so this is an example of an architecture diagram, how we are going to use, how we are going to create stuff. What in the lab, when and where you are going to do. Are you going to follow the green arrow or are you going to follow the red arrow? What kind of use case? Okay, so all this I will practically demonstrate. Okay, and when I demonstrate, you will also be seeing those things, right? The video recording will be there. During the class, do not try to attempt the practical, because that time your focus should be on learning. If any part from point A to point B, if after this red arrow from here to here, why did it, what happened here? I did not understand. You are supposed to ask the question. It will be a live one-to-one class. This is not, you're not going to go through a recorded class. Okay, this is going to be there. It is going to be an interactive class. Now, when one person asks a question, most of the times there are other people in the team also who also might have the same question. Okay, or something related to that. Your question will answer other people's questions also when I'm explaining it. Okay, so does that make sense?
so
Who
sir,
asked that question? Hmm.
we will get the theory and lab stuff documented after the class. After the class.
When you say documented, documented will refer to your diagrams like this. Okay. And rest of the thing, anyways, I'm going to do it in practical. The classes are getting recorded, right? So you can play and pause the video and you have to create your own lab environment where you will have to replicate that thing in your computer. That is the documentation. What else are you referring to? Maybe I have not understood your question properly.
Actually, so for example, if I have to create an EC2, I'm just giving an example in AWS, then I have to go to the first, I have to select the service like EC2.
Right,
Then
right.
I have to go there, then I have to do
So I'm
certain
going to
steps.
show that, right? I'm going to show that practically during the class, right?
Actually, it's after, okay, so it's really
And
hard to remember the steps.
you don't
Actually,
need to
the
remember. Okay. See, all these things, you are going to get a recorded. All these sessions are recorded. Right now, this entire session is being recorded. Okay. So you will get links. Open the link and you will see the video file of the class. Video, audio file. Okay. Everything, whatever. So all of these things that you are seeing on my screen now, these are getting recorded. Okay. Everything which I said, obviously, if there are so many topics which are being discussed, it is not possible to remember. And then for your lab, you will open that link, click on it. It will be just like you watch a movie in Netflix. Similarly, this will be another movie. The only thing, this is a technical movie where you will see where I'm clicking on. Like I logged into AWS. You pause it. and then you open your AWS account, you log in. And after that, I clicked on EC2. Then you again pause the video, go to your AWS account, and then click on launch instance. Does that make sense? So you don't have to remember everything. You can watch that video for your practice and then replicate it again. So all theory lab, that is, you will get access to those recorded classes, which you can keep for more than a year. It does not matter. You use that for your revision, for your actual practical session practice that you have to do. Because on an average, 1 hour session will require 3 to 4 hours your personal study. Okay, so you can divide all this training into 2 parts. Your training as a mentor that I'm going to impart here. Okay, that will be in 2 parts. One is instructor-led. Okay, this is me here. Kalol is giving that training. Okay, and then you have got your self-paced learning. Okay, here you are going to rewatch the video, watch the recorded session, play and pause, and then implement in your own lab. So basically you do the practice. Okay, so for every 1 hour of training that I give, you on an average, you will have to work for 3 to 4 hours. Does that answer your question?
Yes, actually, honestly, I'm speaking. I have to do like 9 to 10 hours of jobs and 1.5 hour traveling. So it's really, I have to, I will try my best to give 3 to 4 hours. But it would be a great help if we get a documented step, because once I learn the concept in the video,
steps you will get documented. How you have to do, what you have to do, that you will definitely get documented. I can understand 12-hour work shift and then 2 hours of journey. So during journey, you should watch the videos. I can suggest you that. Make use of the time as much as possible.
yes,
And then you have your weekends. So this is actually challenging for everybody. Frankly speaking, you have come to this course to learn this course here because most of you are not happy with your current job profile. You want more salary pay packet, and also you want to learn something better, something which will give more job stability, a higher pay packet, a more growth opportunities. So DevOps is the channel for that. But then you will have to spend time on learning. There is no shortcut for learning. It takes dedication. It takes hard work. So regarding the documentation, don't worry. But then, yes, you have to attend the classes. If you are only watching the recorded classes, then when are you asking the question? Questions you have to ask in real time during the class, right?
yes, sir,
that is what help you in learning. That is where I can help you in your journey.
Definitely.
Okay, don't worry about the documentation and all that. You can have hundreds and thousands of documentation. The main thing is when you are going to do the lab yourself after learning the theory. That is the major part. So all that step, if you listen to my lecture, I watch the step-by-step process where I'm clicking, what I'm clicking, why am I clicking. That leads to your understanding. After that, you are supposed to do the lab. If you are failing to do the lab there, then I have failed as a teacher to explain the idea to you. Make sense? So during your entire journey, definitely I will be giving you that push, giving you help and helping you understand each and every topic, concept, any code you are writing. Why are you writing that code? I will explain that. People who are absolute beginners, well, even I was a beginner after 25 years of experience in IT, but I also started from somewhere, right? Believe me, there was a time, I don't know how many of you remember, but I am from a time period when they used something called, there was no DSL technology. I used something called, okay. I don't know how many of you have seen this. So I used equipment. Let me get the correct picture here. 1 second, I'll just show you. Today, everybody is using 5G technology on the. So I actually have, okay, somebody needs to be on mute, please, during the meeting. Yeah. So thank you for that. So I have actually used this phone. It might seem funny to you now, but no, this was a landline phone which I've actually used. And the very old internet modem which I had used. So even I started from somewhere, okay? I practically used this kind of setup. With this phone, you have got people who have not used it, they have no idea. Okay, so there was like a switch and then there was this modem. So basically, if you are using the landline phone, you cannot use the internet. If you are using the internet, you cannot use the phone. I came from that. I've come from that age. Okay, this is during 1993, 94. I'm talking about. That time, like the first time I went into an internet shop, and I said I want to do the internet, and then the guy just connected the modem with the computer. There was some odd noise it made, and then he opened up Internet Explorer 6. That's it. And I did not know what to do after that. And then he said, now you're on the internet. I had no idea. So everybody starts from the beginning. And that is the best place to start. So don't worry about that. I'm new. I don't know coding. Everybody starts somewhere. So take up that courage and get into the journey. If you have to learn swimming, you have to enter the water. Get inside the river. Only then you will understand how. Only then you will be able to practically learn swimming. So don't be afraid. Learning is a gradual process. There will be many failures. Those failures will teach you where you are going wrong. Today, in this age of internet, there is no topic in this world which anybody cannot learn. That is not possible. Anybody can learn anything. The only thing that is required, you should have the desire to learn. You should have the honesty and the diligence. No, I will learn this thing. I will put in the hard work and the effort. You should put in the discipline. No, every day I will definitely give 1 hour for this, for my practice. Apart from that, there will be problems in life. That is what life is about. If everybody would have had it easy, then what is there? There is no problem. Without problem, life is meaningless. So it is okay. You will face these challenges. It is a good thing if you face challenges. Whenever there is some friction, you are having some blockage in forward movement. That means you are in motion. That is a good thing. If you're not having any friction, that means you are static. You're not moving ahead in life. So it's fine. Even new people can understand, can learn. Everybody starts from somewhere. I am the living example. I also started from somewhere. I also did not know coding or DevOps or anything about computers. Some point of time I learned it. Okay. I think that should answer your question regarding what if I'm new to DevOps, how will I learn? I don't know anything about software. No, you can learn from the beginning. I'm teaching from the beginning here. What else? Moving on. What is the next question?
Yeah, hi sir. I just want to know about Docker, Kubernetes, and Ansible. So, in what level that we can learn from this course? Is it the basic level or professional advanced level?
So you will be able to learn the projects. Samir, right? So what?
Yeah.
Okay, I don't know who is asking. Funny?
Yeah, funny.
Yes. Okay, funny. So what you will be able to learn? You will be able to learn project. Here we are not focusing now. So you know that DevOps is like ocean. We keep on learning. It's like it will take 1 year to complete. So it is not at all focusing on any one specific tool. This course. We're not focusing that we are saying that, okay, we'll make you expert in Kubernetes. We'll not make you expert in Docker. We'll not make you expert in Jenkins. We'll not make you expert in Maven. No, it's not that kind of course. This is, we'll make you expert in project.
Okay.
So if you want to learn Kubernetes, okay, a specific Kubernetes, it will take 50 hours. But then the whole course is around 20 to 25 hours. How can we make it? It's not possible. Now, if suppose you are someone who doesn't care about that, okay, I don't want to learn this much Kubernetes. Why? I don't want to do certification now. It's not a certification based course. Again, somebody asked. So I'll tell you, it's not a certification based course. You have to be in real life. What happens when you work in a company? It is not, you are not working for certification, right? Nobody will be able to do certification just by working in a company on Kubernetes. What they do, they learn specifically that certification thing. They do they complete some practice sessions and they go for the certification. And that's where they say that, okay, I'm a certified professional on some particular tool. But then we understood that that particular model is not good enough, right? Why? Because you are again going in a legacy kind of methodology or mindset, which is, okay, I will learn tool, I will become an expert, and then what else? I don't know other things. I don't know, okay, how can I integrate Kubernetes with Jenkins? I don't know, okay, how can I install, or how can I write a playbook so that I can deploy things in Kubernetes? This is, who will do this? This a working professional can do, but a certified professional can't do. Agree?
Agree, yes.
Agree, right? So because when you work, it is a separate, different altogether, different feeling altogether. Okay, that's where we understood, and that's why we created a company called Learn with Project. None of our course is certification based course. We don't say ourselves that, okay, we will make you a certified guy. No, we'll make you a certified guy in terms of working professional. Are you a working professional? You can say Sina Thokke ki yes, I'm a working professional. Okay, means you can say by yourself that, okay, yes, yeah, I am a working professional. How much experience I have? I have 2 years of experience. How did I got this experience? I worked in this particular institute as an internship. It's kind of an internship model. Whatever we do, we have certain projects where we will be showing you some projects which we have created by your own experience to make it very easy for you all to understand and jump into the DevOps world just after 1.5 months. It's like KT. Okay, like when we give KT, the real life KT thing. That's why I've shared one curriculum here, which Kallol prepared. Just check that curriculum, click on that, you will find that a lot of projects are assigned. Okay, it's in the first page only, it is saying 22 hours of training. Let me share quickly. 22 hours of, if you see, it's saying 22 hours of training will give you how much? 6 real-time projects. And how many? 52 modules will be there, 2 years work experience you will get. Okay, I don't know, 52, it's like, I think wrong. Okay, it should be 5 modules, I think. Okay, so major project, if this is the major project which you will be doing. Okay, if you go down, there will be another major project. Okay, which is, okay, this is the major project. So this is one of the major project which you will be doing here. CICD with Git, Jenkins, Ansible, Kubernetes. Once you do this, you will get the experience. To do this, you will have some 6 real-time small projects. Okay,
Yeah,
basically
great.
we are trying to explain you that.
If you want to do this project, at least we have the basic knowledge on Git, Jenkins, and
yeah, basic knowledge we will be obviously giving you. Otherwise, you will not be able to do. Like if I don't teach you how to push a Git, like in the GitHub, from Git to GitHub. So if I don't teach you, okay, this is something called Visual Studio. Open this, go and create something. And if I don't teach you this, you will not be able to do this. This is the basic knowledge. Okay, so suppose if I don't teach you, okay, install Visual Studio. Okay, go to terminal. I will say, once you open the terminal, you will have to install, you have to click on the Git bash. Now, how come this Git bash came? You have to install Git bash. For installing Git bash, again, go to Google and type Git bash download.
Correct.
And go there and click on this, download it. Then you will get this bash terminal. Bash terminal is a Linux terminal in Windows. So that we will be always teaching everything in Linux. So we will, like in real life, people will say, or senior will say, okay, do the things in bash terminal. Don't do it in PowerShell. So you will open a bash terminal. You will say, okay, fine, let me create a project. So you will create a project called mkdir. We will say, okay, fine, let's create a project called project. Okay, and once you create a project, you go to that project. This is how we will say. and you will have to do this way. Okay, I've been muted again. So once you do this, you will be going to this particular project and then create some file. So we will ask you to create a file, maybe touch index.html. Okay, and then you will create a file like a developer. Once you create a file, you will ask you to, okay, fine, open a file. This is how to open a file. Now you know, when I say open a file, you know that create a file, you know that, okay, this is how you create a file. When I say open a file, that means you know that, okay, fine, VI will be an editor which you will be using. I'm just giving you a very small thing hint, but then like this, we will be doing the whole thing, the whole project. I think he already explained you, Kallol already explained you the project architecture, but then I'll just go through it. What will be the ultimate requirement? Okay, don't count project, don't count anything. Just see what project we will be doing. We'll say that you will create a web application. Think like a web application you will create, which you will name as LwpLabs.com. This is your website. This website you will be running in a Kubernetes cluster. Okay, now for running this website in Kubernetes cluster, you need to know that, okay, obviously you will have to start from zero. Means you need to know how to create a Kubernetes cluster. You need to know how to deploy a pod. You need to know how to create a deployment. Okay, you need to know how to create a service. You need to know what are the different kind of service, like load balancer, cluster type, cluster IP, and then node port kind of services. You will have to know that, and we will give you the documentation and differences with which you will be creating it. Then you will say that, okay, that there are customers who will type the domain, which is this domain will hit the Kubernetes cluster, and then in this cluster the website is running, right? So you have to have a web app. That particular website, which is nothing but the var file, should be running. Now how this var file will come here? Who is writing? Developers are writing. So these developers will open a Visual Studio like this. We will give you one sample application where you will open the Visual Studio. All of these developers will open a Visual Studio. So we'll make some of you as developers. Like we will try to do acting. Some of you will be developers. You will open a Visual Studio. You will commit the code. Okay, and then you will push the code. So we'll have to know what is the difference between commit and push. And then once you do that commit and push to the code in GitHub, okay, what we will do, there will be a tool called Jenkins, which will fetch the code. Okay, here, then it will build the code. Okay, and then it will deploy the code with the help of Ansible. What deployment will do, it will take a help of Ansible, which is like, suppose shipping. If you are a car manufacturing unit, you will take a help of a courier agency, okay, who will do the shipping. Similarly, these developers are, suppose, manufacturing unit, they are developing and manufacturing the code, and you need to ship it to the server so that customers can see that. Right? This is the shop where customers are coming to purchase. So you have to ship it. So how will you do that? We will take a help of this particular tool, which is nothing but Ansible. And Ansible will ship it. Now these are called pods. So we'll see pods are there. Okay, we will see, okay, deployments are there. We will see that, okay, how to create service. Okay, how many different type of services are there? How to secure the Kubernetes cluster so that it is not exposed outside. Okay, and how this particular domain, when you type a domain, customer will type a domain, it will come and hit this. You will also know how to create image, because these pods will use image. So you will also know how to create image, how to create Docker file, what is microservice. All these things are included in one project, one major project you will do. This is the ultimate project which you can show in your interview. Okay, we will give you one CV with respect to this particular project. All this someone was asking documentation, right? So you will be given this kind of documentations. step by step. There will be a navigation. You can click on this and you can do. You will be also given CV. Okay, like suppose if you want to go for a job, which is obviously you will create a go for a job. So you will have a CV like this. Okay, which will be aligned with whatever project you are doing. So this is the project which you are doing. With respect to this project, we will create one CV, we'll give it to you, where the tools will be mentioned, where the project will be mentioned, where the description will be mentioned. Now this will be your Bible. When you go for the interview, tell that, okay, I have last 2 years, I am working for this particular project, this particular experience. Now I want a job. They will ask some questions, you will be answering some questions, answer, and then probably first, second, third, fourth interview you will not be able to crack. After fifth, you will be able to crack. Okay, it is like mostly everybody will be cracking our interview. So if you see our Slack channel, there are a lot of people who are cracking interviews. If you just go a little up, you will find we congratulate our people. Okay, a lot of people that whenever they get job, we congratulate them, like, see, many congratulations, these are the people who are getting job. And then like this, people get job, we congratulate them. Okay, even this guy got job. Okay, so whenever people get job, we congratulate. If we have opening, we share in this particular Slack channel. Okay, so Slack channel is our community which we are actually trying to bring, create. Already 1700 people are there, and we are from different country. We are trying to create this DevOps community where people share their experience, where people can get like somebody was asking, I need to do internship. So people, there are a lot of students who have studied in US. So I know that because I am also in US, there are a lot of students who will be coming from India to US, right? And once they complete their, once they are in CPT, which is kind of an period where the students can work for 20 hours. And then there is OPT where they can work for 40 hours. What they do, they opt for IT jobs and they seek for help. Okay, they do some courses from us, and then they seek for help. And what we do, we call it as a job support. So what we do, we give it to our students, and the students will do that particular job support thing. If you are well, good. So we pay them $10 to $12. We charge them $15 to $17. Those students US dollars, and the difference amount is our income, and then we give it to you so that you get the experience and we also benefited. It's kind of win-win scenario for both of us. Okay, that's what we do, and that is our main income. Okay, from where we are actually trying to create this particular Slack channel. So go ahead. This is what we do. This is our curriculum, a kind of a Bible where we teach everything from detail, but will be not certification based, will be from experience based. You will be sharing your experience, you will be doing that just very straightforward. Do the projects one by one, and crack the interview. That's it. And this is what we learn with project, means LwpLabs do. All our projects will give experience. This is giving 2 years. Some curriculum will give 5 years. Some curriculum will give 3 years, something like that. Okay, I hope this is good. You will be given recorded sessions also. So Nikhil is asking class fee. I will just say that this will not be even it's not going to create a big hole in your pocket. It will not be we will be declaring that fees on Wednesday, but then it will not be, not even it will be $100. Okay, that means 8,200 rupees, Indian rupees. It will not be that amount also. It will be lesser than that. Okay, so we wanted, first of all, we wanted you all to join this free session, which is for 3 days, so that you understand at least as a student what exactly this DevOps means. Okay, and then slowly we will try to if you like it, we will try to discuss about fees and other things. But first this. And if you want to study for free, there are a lot of free content in our YouTube channel. Go and join this YouTube channel. Okay, there are, if you click here, suppose if you are Telugu, already we have uploaded the whole Telugu classes. Okay, some people were asking. We're also starting up Tamil. Okay, but then Telugu classes are already uploaded. There are classes also in English here, DevOps classes, Azure classes. A lot of classes are there. You can always see that. If you want to understand Docker, there are. Okay, but then if you want a real life practitioner, okay, please check this. Who should be guiding you? A friend who should be joining, and if you have any questions, he can answer that. You are a guy who need motivation, you need push. Somebody should push you for each and every day. You should be in sync with him. You should be joining every day. You should be in controlled, okay, so that you don't miss study. You should join this particular class. So you can also check our Google reviews, which is there. Okay, just type LwpLabs.com and you just hit that, and you will find here a lot of Google reviews are there in our website. Click on this, click here to see Google reviews, and you will find, okay, that how many Google reviews are there, and all of the students are there in our Slack. If you find this, search this guy in Slack channel. I'll post a Slack channel link so that you all know. So if you find the Slack channel, you will find these guys. I don't know, with this name it is not there, maybe Ramya Mani. Okay, click on this. You should find these guys. All of these are real folks, not that something which we created. Okay, these are real rating from our students who liked our course, who know that, okay, who are we, and yeah, definitely you should see this before you invest your time. Okay, so any other questions technically from this diagram, this diagram, anybody have any question from here? We would be happy to answer. So tomorrow you should join. We will try to, we have already completed one Linux free session, full workshop, where we explained you Linux thing. Okay, now tomorrow also you should join, where we will be starting our course. We will be sharing a lot of details with you. Like, we'll start the particular project so that you know how we are teaching you on. Okay, so Kalal, we are going to start tomorrow. Yes, I mean, go ahead, ask your question, then we'll move to, I'll be sharing back to Kalal. Sorry for taking over, Kalal. I'll just share it back to you.
No problem.
Yeah.
Samir, please go ahead.
Yeah, hi Kalal. I just had a doubt, like, would there be any sessions like difference in AWS DevOps and Azure DevOps, or the pipelines in Azure and stuff?
No, as part of this course, Azure is not part of the course
Yes.
curriculum.
Okay.
Azure is a separate cloud platform. But then this I've discussed earlier as well. There are multiple cloud platforms: AWS, Azure, Google Cloud Platform. There is IBM WebSphere. There is Linode. There is DigitalOcean. You cannot learn all the cloud platforms at the same time. Each cloud platform that you are going to learn, you will have to learn that separately, because they will have their own architecture. They will have their own services. They will their own methodology of working, their own UI, user interface. So as part of this course curriculum, we are going to do only using, we are only going to use Amazon Web Services, which is the most popular cloud platform as of now. It will definitely help you in your job seeking as well.
For Azure, you can send a mail. If you all, suppose somebody wants to do Azure, definitely you can send a mail. I'll tell you that in companies now, they want to, okay, multi-cloud. It's not just that, okay, you learn AWS, it's okay. If you think that, okay, I will move my career to DevOps, okay, keep yourself free and open, that you will have to learn a lot of things. So don't just focus, keep yourself constrained to only AWS. Okay, do this, and quickly also do parallelly maybe one Azure crash course kind of thing. We will see if we can provide you. We'll try to talk to our admin if we can provide you link for our past recording of Azure. So if you want to study that, we can also try to see with a lot of discount. We can actually give it to you for very less price. That particular video also, where it will be complete full crash course will be there. So this is there. This is what I was actually saying. But then this particular course will be only for this one, AWS. So this is what. So we can try to see, this is currently 3999, but then we can try to see if we can actually give it to you all whoever joins with a less discount or something manner. But this is also a crash course, okay, which if you do, it will be like around 20-25 hours, and then you will be able to learn Azure DevOps and other things, okay. But then again, you have to invest your time. Don't think about money. Sometimes people will see initially money, but then it is not. This is very less amount. We go for a dinner and we spend that, okay. It's not that. It's about, if do you have time that or not. So currently we'll give 1 hour, 2 hours, or 1 hour you have to give for your own. That means 2-3 hours you have to spend every day for your own to complete these projects. Now if you really have time, go for Azure, or do that later, because this is going to complete within 1.5 months, okay, max. You will take that much. We will complete within 1 month, okay, 1 month, 5 days, something like that. But then you will also take some time. We will also give you some interview question tips and other things, okay. We are also posting that interview question tips in our YouTube channel also, which you can see always every day. We are posting one shot, so that will also help you. There are a lot of videos also for interviews, okay, so you can also see that. But then again, you have to see that you also have to do your homework. It's not just we. If you don't study, a lot of students do that. They initially will be very much into, and they will join, and then slowly they will say, okay, I have this, I have work, I have something, some problem, they will come. If you do that, then no. Only few students will be like Chaitanya. He completed his full course and he got a job. Kiran, he completed his full course, he got a job. Rahul did. So like this, there are multiple people who have the patience, who have the time, and they're very serious. I can go to a very good gym and think that, okay, I will become like a Hrithik Roshan, I will have a body and then I will be streamed. No, you have to do your exercise by your own. Somebody else doing exercise for you will not help you, okay. So that motivation you have to bring on in you, okay. Even if we teach whatever good, there are a lot of good things in Udemy, still people don't go in Udemy. They come to us, they say that I need motivation, I need people around me. So this is what, that's why we are doing live projects, unlike in Udemy, which is like still boring kind of videos, okay. So this is what we are, guys. LwpLabs, please subscribe our channel, okay. If you think that we are worth to subscribe and we are worth giving this interview questions, or this is real stuff which we are sharing with you, okay. Not topic, not something which is like boring thing, okay. Full real thing. How people give KT in company, we are also trying to give the same thing, okay. Any other question?
Rahul, so how much coding will be required for
This
like
course?
after
No
the
coding
DevOps?
is required.
And like let's say after the DevOps, like when we try to get a job, do they ask for like you need to know Python or Java?
Python scripting, they may ask you. You may say that for this if you do this particular course, Python scripting is not there. For that, you have to take another course, okay, from us, because we cannot cover that in this, that Lambda function and the other things, okay. But they may ask you this. Then what will you say? Because we are giving 2 years of experience, you have to understand that okay, in this 2 years you have not came across that particular requirement. But then you have to understand this also, that this particular any course is just a launch pad to you, okay. You will start your journey from there. It's not the end. Now once you do this, it's not that you will stop things, okay. You started, now you move to DevOps. Now keep learning. Then what else you can learn here? We will teach you shell scripting, okay, a little bit. But then there is a next thing, which is you can learn Python scripting, okay. You can learn Python scripting, but then Python scripting should be with some reason. So that is like Lambda. Okay, we can try giving you some videos of our past sessions from, or we can just subscribe to our YouTube channel. You asked for Python scripting Lambda, we can upload that, and you learn from there. That was what motivation. But then with this time, we can only complete this, okay. That's what we are actually saying. This is the project. But now if you want to learn Python scripting, yes, no problem. It will be there. We will be uploading it to YouTube. Just request it. Okay, go to any of our YouTube video, request those things, whatever you need. We also need motivation, right? Like you need motivation. If you go and request subscribe, definitely we should also get some revenue from somewhere, right? So we will be motivated. So ping there, ask comments, okay, and then definitely we will go and we'll upload it. We don't, we will be motivated for from your comments. Okay, yeah. So this is it, guys. Anything last comment, Kalol, you want to say?
Yeah, does anybody have any other questions? Please speak up now. You have all been unmuted.
Here we are going to also testing code.
Come again, please. Please ask again. I did not completely understand.
Here how we are going to test the code, developers.
Test the code. So see, ultimately you are going to make changes in the code.
Still we are going to use here.
If you are making changes in the code, your app, you're on the browser, when you refresh the browser, that there should be change in the application interface also. So if it is what, if it changes the application interface on the browser, that means your code has worked. Obviously we have to test the code. Is it at all working or not?
But we have not knowledge about Java, Python. How we can understand?
How you can understand what? Sorry, there is a lot of background noise from your end. Can you ask the question again?
Yes, sir, we have not knowledge about Java, Python languages. How can we understand that?
Okay, how you will understand the code? We are going to use a tool called Jenkins, right? When you are going to build a job in Jenkins, it will give you output. When it gives you an output, you will keep getting messages in the console output. Like stage by stage, there will be build success. If there is failure, then it will give you a reason, and then we will investigate and we will solve that problem. So it will be completely visual. When you are moment you are deploying something, when you are creating a build job and then you are running that job, step by step, it will show you. It takes less than a minute, but it will display it on the console output. That is how you will know. And from here, it is becoming very at a micro level. We are getting into micro level details. So you will have to go through that journey of learning Jenkins. I will teach you that step by step. Without testing, code deployment does not work. So that test result also will be displayed on the screen.
Okay. So guys, like whoever asked this, so when you, how to understand, because you and anyway writing the code, as developer writing the code. So before you architect things, you should know which environment you are working on, what is your tech stack. So in our class, we will be using Java as a tech stack. But then in your company, it may be Python, it may be Node.js, it can be anything, doesn't matter, because you are trying to understand the culture, a DevOps culture, the pipeline. Once you do that, like Kalol explained, the Jenkins and other things you will do, you can do the same thing for any other tech stack as well. Okay, just that you need to find out like which particular tool will be used. Okay, I think from the technical perspective, guys, any other questions? Please go ahead. Can I get Azure class for free? Yes, definitely, Mujahid. You will be getting the course. Okay, not for free, but with some little amount, because we understand that free things doesn't work. Okay, we have given a lot of things free. You will not study for sure. Okay, there are a lot of things free in YouTube also. People don't go and study. Doesn't work. Your motivation will not be there, Mujahid. Okay, believe me. Okay, this is not from today, from long time. Okay, people, guru, if they give free, it doesn't work. Guru dakshina dena padta, wo dena hai tumko. Okay, so what is that? We will be giving you a lot of discount and you will be able to give that. But then once you take that course, But this course fee, whatever we are doing currently, we are talking about this particular course only, not about the Azure. This course fee will not be more than $100, okay, which is like 8,000 rupees, Indian rupees, which will not be, which will be very less than that. $100, which will be very less than that, okay. But then we'll be telling you or declaring that amount on Wednesday. We want you to continue the free session at least, so that you learn at least something from here, okay. So don't forget to join tomorrow. Fees and other things we'll be discussing later. Okay.
One thing.
Uh,
In this course, we will cover all AWS activities also, right? Because only CICD. No,
I think, let me,
because
1 minute.
What are we going to cover? CICD.